Fellow Kenyans, I am really concerned about what happened in church where children were tear gassed. Some of them got bullet wounds. Some people were really injured. But what is happening? To understand what is happening, you have to understand that Kenya is at a crossroad where we are trying to build a one-party state. How comes the opposition has run very short of ideas or agenda that they are now resorting to these very desperate measures? And why must we now call out the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the entire opposition and put the ultimate responsibility on the President William Ruto? Ultimately, he is responsible. And I'm telling the President that this is why we are, as LDP, calling you out on this matter. Let me put this clearly. I want to state the following, that you must know what is going on in this country without just seeing the symptoms of what's happening. And to understand those questions I've asked, first of all, you have to know that we don't have something called opposition at the moment. Only LDP can salvage Kenya from this time. That's why I'm urging Kenyans, please listen to me carefully. And if you don't listen to me, there's no problem, because we only have 18 months and the truth will come to pass. That we don't have a serious opposition at the moment. And what I mean by that is simple. How comes that as we are at this time, you are realizing that opposition is not doing what they are supposed to be doing? Look at the education sector that is suffering. Look at healthcare, it's suffering. Look at the national security suffering. Look at the economy suffering. Now they are selling, privatizing. Opposition is quiet. They are just doing things like they are doing. Let me tell you the following, that we don't have opposition. Let me explain this using logic. And the logic begins with two premises. After the two premises, everything else must just be confirmed. That Ruto has always been, is, and will continue to be Uhuru's project. The second premise is this: Gachagua has always been, is, and will continue to be Uhuru's project. Remember, Gachagua was Uhuru's PA, and they never clashed. Forget about the Northland issue. No, that was done just the way they're doing the one in church now. So those promises means that Kalonzo Musyoka being seen as Gachagua's project is actually Uhuru's project, and by extension, Ruto's project. Matiang'i being Uhuru's project in Jubilee, by extension, is Ruto's project. And that's what I call creating a one-party state. So UDA is going to be done. Are you seeing UDA rising? ODM being smashed to pieces by William Ruto. DCP is being dismantled, isn't it? And other parties are being finished. And that's why LDP is coming by saying, no, we cannot be dismantled. For us to stand with the Kenyans, we shall remain the voice of Kenya. We shall remain the last man standing with Kenyans, because we know we are run by technocrats, not tumbocrats. We don't run after small jobs here and there, all those things being dropped around. So that tells you that all these things these guys are doing, they're all working for William Ruto. And you might think that Gachagua is fighting William Ruto. If really William Ruto want to finish Gachagua, with all those cases were put against Gachagua during his impeachment, couldn't you find some that actually can bring Gachagua down by just using DCI and ODPP? Some of them are very clear. The Gachagua's background is very clear. In fact, those opposition defending him with Kalonzo Musyoka, the ones who were rubbishing him during the election against Raila Odinga, how Gachagua had a bad history in the beginning. So let us not be deceived here. Even Martha Karua revealed those things herself, how Gachagua had a criminal record. So all these things we are seeing, these are criminal activities. I want to call out the former deputy president. Please, if you don't have ideas on how to get elected and how to come back, do not play around with the life of the church. Don't play with the church. Do not bring those things to the holy altar of God. You know very well you are being used by William Ruto to do those things, and you know the end game. The end game is that you're going to work with William Ruto. So I want to call you out. I want to tell the president, you're the one who carried the Bible and took oath of allegiance, and also took oath of the due of office, that you will protect the Kenyans, you will protect the constitution of Kenya, you will protect life and property. Please do not play these games with the Kenyans. You are the one who has asked these people to do all these things. I'm hearing them say, oh, explain to us why the police was there. Of course, the state can do anything. The state is the state. The government can work with opposition to achieve what is good for the government, and that's what they are doing. So, fellow Kenyans, let us just faglia out of water. Because where was the Gachagua security? Gachagua has a security by the state. If I'm wrong, false me. Kalonzo has got state security. GSU guarding his house. He's being driven by the government officials. The vehicles are for government, the government siren. Uh, this is to all these politicians who are saying they're crying here. So let me tell you guys, even if you go to this kind saying Kalonzo can beat William Ruto, even if Kalonzo wins or does not win, Kalonzo has nothing to gain because Kalonzo is on 74 million pension scheme by the government with taxpayers' money, right? And his party earns over 104 million shillings a year from your taxpayers' money. What does he lose? Go to Eugene, 54 million. Gachagua is on pension. So those people are playing games with us. They are building a one-party state. And for us, we want to accept as LDP, we are going to give a direction. Remember, this is a very important information. I've given you with a very heavy heart. I know some people in opposition might not be happy with me, but I have to say the truth. Dear to me is the opposition because I'm a member of the opposition. But dearer still is the truth. If they think I'm lying, I'm ready to sit with my fellow opposition members on the table and explain why I am saying this at the moment, because I'm actually worked out. I am not a kind of politician who will come in and to accept the theatrics of politics. No. We are coming to change this country. We must ensure that we faglia water. We must drain this swamp because this swamp is stinking. And it is the problem Kenyans are facing. We cannot accept to be produced by the system. Me, I'm not the kind of a candidate who wants to be produced by the system. You either work for the system or you work against the system. For me, I'm going to work against the system, disrupt it, and liberate Kenya through LDP. The issue is opposition should look like they are offering a solution. And that is not happening at the moment. They sometimes look like they're part of the problem. And that can be a very dangerous thing in just hoping Kenyans will just wake up and go against William Ruto. Not really. Let us have a roadmap. Even William Ruto did not come to start creating, just opposing Uhuru. He came out with the bottom up. Opposition must come out with a compelling narrative. And Fred Ogolla is talking about prototype against manifesto, which can solve these problems without worries. I have a formula for it. Of course, this formula is not for Fred Ogolla, but it's a formula to come out with it, which involves people. These things have worked elsewhere. As a leading global economist, when I worked with European Central Bank, we came out with prototypes to solve the Greece issue, to solve the Portugal issue, Italy, Spain, and Ireland. But opposition cannot just sit back there and giving poor narratives.